A couple recent G.I. Joe Classified Series releases made me realize that you can tell a story through packaging art. Let's discuss how these are two of the coolest releases before you even open the box.
It's morphin' time! Special shout out to our channel members, including Infinity War-Torn, our Sound Squadron captain. You can join for as little as $1 a month down below to help support the channel, as well as get cool perks. Hit the join button to find out more details.
Hello, this is Soundout here, and today's video is a little different. It's not exactly a review, it's not exactly an unboxing. We're gonna do both of those things, but we're gonna kind of discuss how the packaging for the Chuckles San Diego Comic-Con release and the Crimson Strike Team PulseCon release are intertwined through a storytelling method told exclusively through packaging. We've seen storytelling packaging initiatives in the G.I. Joe Classified line before, whether it was Cobra Island in year one, or most recently the Dark Energon Mine storyline going through the Walmart exclusives, which I discussed in a recent unboxing, and I really did like that kind of like, here's the soft sell. Like on the surface, just action figures, but there's some other things here that kind of tell a little bit of a story. And I really like that considering G.I. Joe, outside of the current comics, doesn't have any other media support. So it's kind of nice that the toy line is doing that. But they've taken it a step further. Last year, they had the Comic-Con exclusive Dr. Mindbender and the PulseCon exclusive Serpentor, and on the backs of each box, there was like the story of Dr. Mindbender creating Serpentor on Mindbender, and then the birth of Serpentor and his initial reign on Serpentor's box. And that was really cool because that kind of gave you a story. But that was kind of a retelling of the story we'd seen in the show and the comics for how Serpentor came to be. Whereas this is, from what I can tell, a brand new story told exclusively through packaging. So let's take a closer look at these two releases. So let's start with what was intended to be the first release, which was Philip Chuckles Provost. And this is a character who is a secret agent operative, and a lot of people know him from having kind of a wildish, outlandish design and a code name. But he's really come into his own. Like, he was, originally I believe he was introduced in G.I. Joe the movie, and then he's had a lot of run in the comics where he's worked as a secret agent, and it's made him a really interesting, deep character. And I think that was really, really cool. So they did kind of give him a nice deluxe release. It does seem like Mindbender and Serpentor, we have not seen any indication of a regular release Chuckles down the line, so this may be your only way to get Chuckles for the moment. But when it comes to the actual packaging, we were talking about telling a story. So first things first, it is like a TV monitor setup. It's still got the QR code that leads to the generic Hasbro website. I don't know why they put those on there if there wasn't going to be a website. And it does have number 75 as he's the 75th release. You can see that the dial here goes from 1 to 11, and then also an X setting on all of these, which is really fun. You have the Extensive Enterprises logo on the back and this little wired transceiver that looks like it's plugged in to this display. And then, of course, the front of the display, which has, you know, your output, your readout, your like radio connections, and a speaker, shows Chuckles holding the Cobra bat files and the Crimson Strike team of Baroness, Tomax, and Xamot screaming, yelling at him. Because what it seems like is that Chuckles has stolen information from Cobra, and now he's telling them, hey, I got it, I'm on my way, see ya, peace. And that's really cool. Now, what's even cooler is when you open the front flap. So this is kind of like a front flap box. Even though we have just a render of Chuckles here on this side, and not the actual figure, on this side, there's a little mini comic, which starts up here, and I love this because this is really well done. It's a art technique that I really love, which is showing motion through a single page. But you can see Chuckles here is stealing a silver briefcase from a vault. He starts going, and then he's getting shot at by the Cobra bats, which he uses the actual briefcase as a deflection of the bullets. Hops over this ledge here, runs down these stairs, kicks that bat's head off completely, comes this way, charges through a couple more, hits them, smashes, jumps out the window, lands down here, lands in his getaway car, and he runs away. It also looks like he broke into like a 1950s diner called the Coconut Palm, or Cobra's like hotel. Let's go with a beach hotel, because over here he's on a beach. Looks like a fancy like high-end beach thing like Malibu or something. And you can see there's a helicopter probably on the way to extract Chuckles. And then you can see this case down here, which has got gold bars and a monitor screen, which shows Baroness, Tomax, and Xamot yelling through the monitor. And that is just really cool because it kind of looks like, oh wow, Chuckles is like the coolest dude ever, which, you know, he kind of is. But how does the package look on the inside? You know, we're talking about presentation. Let's talk about presentation. Let's cut the tape. Let's pull him out. I haven't opened him yet. This is first time for Chuckles. This is kind of like an unboxing video. Oh, I don't want to wreck the box, so I gotta be careful. All right, so there is his accessories, and then there he is. So let's pull this aside. So the whole thing is that, yeah, this is in the era of plastic-free packaging, even though we still have these plastic ties. I mentioned that in a previous video, and some people were like, why are you complaining about those? I'm like, because Hasbro told us this was for sustainability. Those aren't as sustainable as the cardboard ties they were just using. That was the only complaint I was making. It really doesn't bother me that much. But we can see Chuckles here. He's in a little tray, looks like, with the flower pattern. And then here is the briefcase he stole. So you see you got the handle, you got the latches, it's all beat up, it's got the bullet holes in it from when the bats shot at it. And then inside, I assume, is just a bag of accessories, which is also in that floral pattern, which is really, really cool. So yeah, Chuckles, I think he was like 45 bucks, something like that, because he was like a premium exclusive. I almost don't want to tear the flower pattern, but unboxings must go on. So he does come with a ton of accessories to kind of justify that. But you can see here we've got his suitcase, which you see him in the render with. The suitcase is banged up. It's got a couple scratches on it. Does it open? I hope it does, because that'd be really cool. Let's see if it opens. Yep, pops open. Kind of standard inside, but it's got kind of like a worn look to it, like he's carried this around a lot, which I think is really, really cool. We also got here, what's in here? Let's pop this open. It's a little mystery box. Oh, this has got, it's a pair of sunglasses and headphones for undercover work or just chilling on the beach. That's pretty neat. We've got his like flower lei, which is a solid piece of plastic there. He's got binoculars for spying, which is great. This looks like, this is a funny little accessory. He comes with a tape deck for his headphones, but it looks like Soundwave from Transformers. Love that. That's really cool. He's got a broken handcuff, so if you wanted to have them like breaking out of handcuffs. He's got two broken handcuffs, so if you put one on either, we'll do that. I think that'll look cool. And then he's also got a joined set of handcuffs that he could be captured in. Standard kind of pistol look, and of course like a standard knife. And then he's got two fists to go with his open hands, but these fists are brass knuckled fists, which is really, really cool. You also get this really wonderful alternate head sculpt where he's missing a tooth, he's got a black eye, he's got a scratch on his face. Like, this is him after the fight, which is really great. And then you have the documents that he stole with the, you see the Crimson Bat even. They're like Crimson Bat documents. So these are like the plans and blueprints. The one thing he doesn't come with, and this is like my only complaint with the figures, he has got all this stuff, and yes, he does have his like suitcase. Where's the silver briefcase that he spends the entire packaging trying to grab, right? Like, it's there on the beach, but it doesn't actually come with the figure. Kind of a weird exclusion, right? So there is that. I'm gonna go cut Chuckles out of this so I can, do it over the trash can so I don't, throw those all over my room. All right, so now I got Chuckles out. I think what's really fun about Chuckles is that he stands out in a crowd. You got this crowd of Joes, and then here's the guy in the Hawaiian shirt. He's got he's got military pants down here, but then the Hawaiian shirt and the gun belt thing, he looks like a Miami Vice character in a lot of ways. I also do appreciate that despite him being a really classic design, he still has that communicator piece that a lot of the modern G.I. Joe classified designs have for the Joe team. It's just a design element I really like, and anytime they can work it in, I'm pretty happy. And I'm kind of bummed when figures like Shipwreck are so 80s and it's great, but he doesn't have any comm badge, and it's like, come on. I like that one uniting element. I like the 80s stuff. I love the original show. I have read every issue of Larry Hamill's G.I. Joe. I love the 80s stuff, but I also did love the way that Classified was modernizing. Maybe not as much as when they did the first wave and they were kind of going overboard with it, and it's like, holy cow, I think we all made the jokes of Fortnite Duke, but I did like kind of just the general idea of hey, let's update the designs a bit, and I still like it when they do that. I like that it's, maybe it's more 80s inspired, but then update it, kind of like this. This feels like an update, Chuckles, not just an 80s remake. And those 80s remakes you can still do. I mean, they're doing them with the the retro line that they're doing. They're like, oh yeah, we're gonna do more of these where they aren't just repaints, but full on retro Scarlet, retro Duke, that sort of thing. I think that's cool. I'm cool with that. I also like having a modern version. I hope we get a modern Shipwreck as well, that kind of thing. So with Chuckles, I feel like he bridges the gap perfectly, and I definitely like the way they've done it. He's got kind of the stylings of both. He's got you know, sure, he's carrying cassette deck, but that could just be him, you know, waxing on 80s nostalgia. Now, the interesting part here is I'm trying to figure out, will this lei go over his head? I got all this stuff on him before I put the lei on. Can we get the lei over the head? Yeah, there we go. There's the Hawaiian lei look there. He's going like full tourist, full undercover tourist. This binocular system, clipping back here, it works pretty good. Just be careful of like knocking it off. I think that's just in general, like a lot of these classified figures, I'm just always impressed when you can just load them up with their accessories like this. Let's just like do that. And then let's get his glasses back on. I put them on like 3 times now. Glasses on. Let's put his headphones on. But yeah, I like the way they've kind of hybridized some of the characters. Some of my favorites of the year are the ones that like take inspiration from the 80s design but go modern, like Rock and Roll. Rock and Roll's a great example where he's like, I'm just gonna put these in here for safekeeping, but Rock and Roll's a great example of a figure where I like the way that they modernized him because he's still got the 80s style, but he's like modernized because he is in a 2023 toy line, which is like this. So there you go. You can put pretty much everything on him. I have the choice of handcuffs. Let's just see if we could squeeze like his hands in here. I don't know. Could his extra hands fit in here? Could we throw in like an extra set of handcuffs? No, the hands don't fit, but you can keep the handcuffs in there, which is pretty handy. So yeah, alternate body part things don't store, but everything else does, which I think is really, really cool. And yeah, you can just have him carry his little suitcase here. The other interesting part as well with Chuckles is that he looks completely like nobody, like people would notice the gun holster on him, right? So what do you do about that? Well, you just remove all this other stuff and you can pull the gun holster off, I'm sure. Because he's got a swappable head, I think we can actually, the question is, can we just take this off of him? Yeah, so you could just take that off. Now he's super undercover. You could probably rip the leg holster off as well. But he's kind of a weird guy in a lot of ways. So that was kind of like, yeah, that's armored up Chuckles. Let's do Chuckles where he's escaped Cobra. He ain't relaxing anymore on the beach. So of course we got to get the beat up. Let's keep the lei. Let's keep the lei in the gun holster. I think those are those are going to be good. We got to keep that. Put the lei on him. I just had to do the head off camera. It wasn't going. Let's make sure we don't lose his watch here, but let's see how easy it is to swap hands. We don't do that a lot in this line. Okay, yeah, the watch isn't gonna like stay on the wrist. You got to just kind of keep it lined up. I want to put the handcuff on, but still let him hold things. Can we do that? Can we put the handcuff over the wristwatch? I just want to be like, oh, he just broke the cuffs. Yeah, you can. It would probably be better if you take the wristwatch off. We'll just go with Cobra stole his watch when they captured him. Let's just put this handcuff on. We'll put the hand over it. I kind of want to use the brass knuckle hands, but at the same time, like, I want to have him hold stuff. So kind of it's a trade-off. So there he is with the broken handcuffs on him, which is just super fun. I love little details like that. It's a storytelling thing. Yeah, let's just have him like, he's got the gun. Because let's say he grabbed his stuff, right? Like he grabbed his stuff when he was grabbing those files. Because like Cobra took him in, they were interrogating him. He grabbed his stuff. He tossed his glasses and his headphones and his watch and his Soundwave tape deck. He threw all this stuff in here. Can we fit it all in here? Please let me fit it all in here. Let's take the extra set of handcuffs out because he's already got those on. Let's just see if we can. Yeah, he grabbed all his stuff, threw it in a case. And then he just grabs the case and he's making a run for it. He's like, I gotta take this stuff, get to the Joe team, get out of the comm range blockers, make my way out of this Cobra hellhole of a motel or something. I don't know, wherever they're keeping him. This is on the fly storytelling and posing. And then he's just like, all right, he gets out of comm range, like, Joe team, I need an extraction now. And they send like the Dragonfly or something because but we can't send the Dragonfly yet. It's still in HasLab development for next year. But yeah, there you go. There's Chuckles. Boom. This is a great fun figure. Again, also because most of the accessories you can have on him. I like just the ruggedness of it. Let's get a close-up of that face, because that is just a delightful. He is so happy to be beating up Cobra, guys. But I really like the way they did Chuckles. I know some people talked about, like, his head is not classic enough. Again, not a problem for me. The Dr. Pym figure from the West Coast Avengers box set. That's a head that apparently is working for people for more classic Chuckles. I'm cool with this. I'm probably going to always have him in some state of like running away at the last moment, and that's what makes Chuckles so much fun. But let's look at the other side of this story. What happened at Extensive Enterprises after Chuckles stole that briefcase? So here is the Crimson Strike Team box set. This is the PulseCon exclusive for G.I. Joe in 2023. And yes, I think you can figure it out by now. This is the briefcase that Chuckles stole. And it's briefcase sized. This is brilliant. So first of all, you know, the box on the outside here, not too much. You can see there is the QR code again that leads pretty much nowhere. They put the number 82 down here, but on the back you got like Cobra logo. Yeah, you have to have the legal stuff. But what's really interesting is that this is the external slipcase. Let's pull the slip cover off, and now you can see how extensively damaged this box got. So there's bullet holes, there's blood stains. Yeah, okay, they're maybe not blood stains. He was fighting Crimson Bats, so these are probably like Crimson Bat paint or something. But, you know, up here you got the handle, the latches. It's the same kind of design as the inner box with the accessories for Chuckles. But the inside here is super clean now, aside from, you know, being dented, cut up. You know, he used this thing to get his way out of that hotel. And I think it's brilliant. And then on top of that, it's magnetically locked. And then once you pull it down, there's your figures. But let's open it properly because once you pop the latches here, it's a little magnetic. You pull it up, and boom. So first things first, up top here, you can see that same frequency right here that Chuckles was broadcasting from. You can see Chuckles down here, glasses and headphones in tow, strutting away with the Cobra files in his luggage. And then you've got Baroness, Tomax, and Zaymot yelling at him, which is not quite similar to this. This is kind of like they're like, oh no, don't take those. And he's like, haha, I'm taking them. But it's actually like a perfect recreation of, you know, it's probably the same design file. It's this down here where they use the gold bar to block the little Chuckles part. It's this part down here on the box, but in full size image up here. So that's just brilliant. You know, that's one of the most fun things about this packaging is it's like you're seeing the opposite side. It's like, this is what Chuckles is looking at while the Cobra guys are yelling at him. This is what Baroness and the twins are looking at with Chuckles leaving. It's so fun because you're getting, you know, this is what includes Chuckles, but you're seeing it from the Crimson Strike Team's perspective. And then this is what includes the Crimson Strike Team, but you're seeing it from Chuckles' perspective. Fantastic. It's one of my favorite parts about this set, not to mention what happens down here. So there is a two-sided thing. First of all, you get these gold bar look, so it's got Cobra gold bars. And then on the other side is the Crimson Bat design documents, which has like names, has like a little coffee stain on it. But you can see this is the actual design artwork for the original vintage 80s Bat figure, which is really cool. I wish it was kind of like a file folder and you had like actual paper, but I can understand them not wanting to like put out the design documents for their figures and stuff. But you got this. So the idea is that it's just a box of Cobra gold, but then underneath was the Bat files, because you can see again back on Chuckles' packaging, there's the gold bars, which are all strewn about because he was digging for the file. And so that's what you got here, is that you're like, oh, you got your gold bars, and then underneath, oh, there's the file. And I just think that's super cool. And then on top of that, now you can see what actually is included in the set, which is the Crimson versions of Baroness, Tomax, and Zaymot. And then their little accessory trays are underneath. And they're these little tiny boxes. So you got them in this tray, and I think the tray, yeah, this part comes down, and then that way you can access them inside. But if you wanted to kind of like leave them in there, or like repackage them later, which, you know, is totally an option, the little tray boxes here come out for the accessories. Like this is the Baroness accessory box, and you can see it's got a little bag inside. But we need to get the figures out as well, so let's start by I'm gonna go cut the figures out, so that way we can kind of have them, and then we'll look at their individual accessories, because there's some really cool stuff figure-wise, but I gotta say, the presentation value is incredible. Plus, really solid box. It's sturdy, super sturdy material, and then again, the magnets. It almost makes me not want to take them out. But at the same time, we got to get some figures open, because this is part of the video is looking at the toys themselves. let's take a quick look at these figure-wise. These are characters we've had before. Here's Tomax. He's, Tomax is the one with the scar. He's got, red and black and silver, so he's got the Crimson colors. Typically Crimson Guard colors, but they started doing just like Crimson variants of everybody. So it's kind of nice we have like leader characters instead of just grunts. Here is regular Tomax, who we got before. So you can see they're basically just repaints. I mean, the figure was already good to begin with, like the Tomax Xamot figure, already great. I do like how much more prominent the scar is. Here it's kind of more of a subtle, it's just like sculpted with a little bit of light paint, but this is like a heavy paint detail, so I kind of like that distinction. But yeah, I mean, they're pretty much the same figure otherwise. Same deal goes for Xamot. Basically, it's the same as the regular Xamot, but now in Crimson colors, and I like that. I do like that the hair is a little different too, so like it goes with the palettes and shadings and everything. But I don't really have as much to say about them figure-wise. But with Baroness, Baroness is actually kind of surprising because she is a lot different than what we've had before. So first things first, here is the Baroness from Cobra Island, the Target exclusive way back when. They did do a retro Baroness where the glasses became removable, but this here we have a brand new head, also removable glasses. We'll get the glasses out in a minute. But she's got a brand new head, which I think looks much better. I think it's a much better sculpt. I like the way the hair is done a lot better. The chest plate here looks very similar, if not the same. It may be a little bit different. The lower torso is also about the same. The legs are about the same. As you can see, they still got, the visible pins and everything. But the arms are completely new. So we had these armored arms here, and then they could only, because of the armor, it couldn't even bend 90 degrees. It was like one of the worst parts about this original Baroness. This one, of course, now she's got inset pin, double jointed elbows to match the rest of the line, which is really nice to see. I mean, it's a really good upgrade. So between that and the head design, this is a much better, I think, Baroness overall. Will we see this in black? Probably, and probably on that new retro card line they've been talking about. That would make the most sense to me, that they redo her and they'd put her out in a retro card. So that's kind of what I think we'll see. I hope we also see a blue one. I'd love to see a blue one. I'd like to have a blue Baroness more than another black one, but this is a good upgrade for her. But of course, these guys have a lot of accessories. Let's get to it. So I imagine these little accessory boxes are probably identical for the two, but let's find out. There's our little legal paper I never do anything with but recycle. All right, so here is the accessories for Tomax. All right, so, things are falling out. Okay, so they come with these cool stands. These are like the retro carded releases came with stands. I never got any of the Cobra ones because I didn't get most of the retro cards when they're at Walmart. It looks to be clear plastic painted over gold. Interesting choice, but better than crumbling gold plastic, I guess. It does give it kind of a premium look. It does say Crimson Strike Tomax on it, so let's just pop them on. I have no idea if that gold paint is gonna scrape off the pegs, but does it really matter when you won't be seeing the pegs anyways if it's pegged into the figure? I do like action figure stands coming with figures. One of my favorite things about like McFarlane's DC line, because sometimes you just need a little boost on some of these guys. There we go. It's the guy's stand, and then he comes with we had a gun and a nice spell out. All right, there we go. So it is the same accessory loadout as the single figures. You get the gun, it's now in gold. You get the silencer, that's now red. Appreciative that it is gold plastic painted red, but they didn't paint the little nub. They just kept that part gold, so it just plugs right in. So yeah, you can go knife in the holster, that, knife in the other holster, like that, and then the gun in the hand here. And yeah, I like it. I'm not really like overblown by Tomax and Xamot just because they are, hey look, they're the ones we got, but now in gold and red and stuff, which is cool. I like it. I like how they match what they brought to the Cobra table, which was the Crimson Guard. So I like that we have that matching. And then again, like I said, I like that we have a subset, but now we've got a couple like named characters that are leaders. That knife got bent due to a little baggy. That's a bummer. I think we can fix it. Let's just stuff it in the leg holster and let gravity do the rest of the work. Let's put it up in this one because that'll support the handle. Yeah, that's kind of the bummer about the bags. But overall, I mean, I liked the little accessory locker idea that G.I. Joe had. It was like one of the coolest things that they did. I thought it was a nice like little throwback as well to kind of how things went in the old days. Like I think there was a time where maybe it was Star Wars, but like accessory lockers in general is a cool idea to like put all your parts in and have somewhere to store it out of the box. Same thing with stands. I don't know if we're gonna see more stands, but I imagine the retro line is gonna have stands. But the standard line. Probably not getting stands anytime soon, but it's nice that a premium, you know, to add to the premium feel of the set and to also make Tomax and Xamot feel a little less repetitive. They gave him these nice gold stands. I'm having trouble getting him to stay. That's the thing. Action figure stands used to be easier to put on when figures didn't have ankle joints, but I like the adjustments that ankle joints give us. But boy, oh dang, I just scratched the heck out of the stand because it's not pegging on. Be careful. It is painted, so that means you can transfer paint, like the paint from the bottom of a shoe. There we go. That's a bit of a bummer, but that was all my doing because I'm doing this on camera, where everything can and will go wrong. Okay, so that's the two of them. I don't think there's anything else major to discuss. Once again, Baroness is the star in the accessory count. She comes with a lot of stuff we haven't seen before either. Which is why I also do think we are going to get another Baroness. I mean, of course we're getting another Baroness. It's weird, though, that every Baroness has been exclusive except for the movie one. Like, the first one was Target, the retro one was Walmart, and then this one is Pulse exclusive, so it's very strange. But look at all the stuff she's got, in the same size box, too. Look at all the things she's got. Okay, first things first, here's the stand. Crimson Strike Baroness. Let's get this on her. I'm going to do it a little slower this time. I don't want to scratch it like I did on Xamot's. There we go. So now she's going to stand. Okay, so what do we got here? We've got a ton of stuff. First of all, there's that weird snake thing she originally came with, but it's the snake laser, but now in gold and black. That's pretty cool. Here is her, like, knives. She came with these two knives originally. Did she come with the two knives, or was it the movie Baroness? Yeah, the movie Baroness came with these. So now they've included them here, which is pretty cool. You get two different pistols. These pistols are a little different than the ones she originally came with, which were also, I think, like gold or something. But these have little blast ports on the end, or in this case, silencer ports. So you can actually add that. But if you have blast effects that, you know, you can put on there. And these, I think they did cut, yeah, they cut the holsters a little different. So they actually, the little gold bit sticks out the end. But let's just put those in their holsters. I'm not going to have her use those. Which is, that works. I like that. I like the, again, weapon storage, always good. Then we've got, yeah, you get two silencers. So they can either go on the pistols, you can stick them on the little SMGs here, like that, if you really want to. I feel like Baroness, you know, she does her sneaking. When she's going to shoot somebody, she's going to let you know. But let's give those to her, because I think that'll be kind of fun, just giving her some extra weaponry on top of, you know, she normally is just like a two-pistol gal. Let's give her the submachine guns. It's Baroness. She's doing Crimson Strike stuff. You know, Chuckles already made her day worse. She's like, nah, I'm busting out the heavy caliber. All right, and then we got all of this, which is just kind of nuts. So first of all, she comes with two sets of glasses. She's got classic Baroness circle glasses. So let's just stick those on her and see how those look. That is not gonna stay. Oh, I see, right. Duh. She has wigs. This is kind of a cool system G.I. Joe's been doing with characters that have hats or have alternate hair options like Zorana or Shooter or Shipwreck. You actually get alternate hair pieces instead of just alternate heads. And then, like with Baroness here, you get multiple faces to go with those multiple heads. I can't get these glasses to stay on. This is hard. This is the hard part about doing videos when you're just doing it on camera like this and not like planning in advance. I haven't developed a technique on how to get this hair around the glasses and keep the glasses in place. There we go. So you got that going on. This is a classic Baroness glasses look. That's cool. I think these gold tinted glasses that go with the gold tinted everything else, that looks really cool. I like that a whole lot. And then she comes with an extra set of hair. So this is kind of like relaxed hair, and then this is like blowing in the wind dramatic hair. And I don't know if it's better just to put the glasses on first, put the hair around it, or put the hair on, because there's a little gap for the glasses in there. I think maybe we got to put the hair on like that and then put the glasses on. Well, the hair's not clipped in. It's floating around her skull. Let's pop the head. All right, so, okay, let's see. This is the longest hair we've had as a hair option, so it's kind of like tricky. Yeah, there you go. You gotta actually line it up, and then once you line it up, you should be able to just put the glasses on. So close. It doesn't feel lined up right. It's kind of like Snowjob's goggles with his hood. There we go. Now you've got dramatic hair flare. But then you have this head. Let's just slap this hair on so you can actually get an idea what it looks like on her face here. This is nice. We get a lot of neutral expressions. Kind of like I think also why I like the Chuckles head. This is kind of like a sneer, kind of a glare. She's also got like more makeup on. So I feel like this is kind of like the Crimson Strike Baroness look, whereas this head would be more classic Baroness. And then to top it off, she also has this like crazy Crimson mask, which I'm really tempted to put on her because it looks really cool. But I think I'm gonna go with, you know, let's go with dramatic hair whip and the extra eye paint and then the gold glasses on top of that. I think that's gonna be like the crimson look, which I think would be really, really nice. Let's get that, squeeze it on without breaking the glasses here. As someone that wears glasses, always make sure your glasses don't get broken by your hair. There we go. And then boom, pop that. So that's kind of like, I'll go pose her because it feels like things are a little stiff. I might need to heat some stuff, but there you go. I got that going on. Now, I'm sure the question for many is, can you take this more updated kind of neutral Baroness look with the hair and then these new glasses that are like more the classic 80s Baroness glasses? Can you take this and put it on her? Because I do like her glasses too, but let's see. It should be the same head socket, right? Because it looks like the same torso. Okay, her head socket here doesn't have this little like useless bar hinge thing, so I don't know. Oh, the skin color doesn't match either because this has like a more natural skin tone. This is like she's paler here. But if you wanted, I guess you probably have to heat it up a little bit, but if you wanted to pop that on, that would be an option too. I'm sure we'll get a more classic. I kind of want this in black or in blue. But yeah, I mean, this Baroness, this kind of makes the whole set worth it. On top, I mean, we've kind of strayed away from the storytelling aspect because I'm really impressed at how upgraded this Baroness feels compared to the previous ones, and like with how much stuff she comes with. It's really cool. So I really like how the Crimson Strike team is coming together. While we're calling these the Crimson Strike team, I kind of feel like we should call the whole subset that. I don't think we have an official name. Just Crimson, because I kind of like Crimson Strike Force or Crimson Strike Team. I like that we got this subset. Kind of like Tiger Force, kind of like Python Patrol, kind of like Night Force. We got these, and I like that the Baroness and Tomax and Zaymot just add to this. So these just look great together, and I think it's just a really cool package. So overall, this year's convention exclusives for G.I. Joe are just terrific. Chuckles is great, this set's great, but the packaging elevates it. This isn't just like, oh hey, here's 4 great figures. Here's a whole experience. There's a whole storyline here. These are always going to be interconnected on my shelf for me. I'm always going to think about, oh yeah, Chuckles stole stuff from the Crimson Strike team, because otherwise there really was no context to put them together. But I love that the G.I. Joe team took the care and effort to kind of work this together. Last year was a no-brainer. Mindbender, Serpentor, they obviously go together. The history of G.I. Joe says that. But the Crimson Strike team having history with Chuckles isn't really a thing. Like, it's not a well-known thing especially. So I love that they tied them together. These could have been just 2 random exclusives, the way that like Marvel Legends or some other lines do their exclusives. But instead they took the extra care and effort to craft a story as to why these are being released back to back. And that's what I love about G.I. Joe Classified series. There is a story happening through the figures, and I think that is amazing. It doesn't rely on media to recreate it, but just to have some kind of thing to connect the figure releases together. And that's what I love about this. And that's what the whole video is about, is the fact that, yeah, you could ignore the boxes and just look at the figures and be like, great figures, but they're even better figures because they tied them together so well. And if you enjoyed it, hit the like button. Let me know you enjoyed it. Leave the comments down below. Tell me what you think of this idea of telling a story through the packaging or telling a story through just toys. Also, be sure to subscribe to the notification bell for future G.I. Joe videos on the channel. If you want to help support the channel directly, consider becoming a channel member for as little as $1 a month. Check out the details in the join button below. You can also find our Discord server in the link below, and you can find our Monday live streams here on this YouTube channel, Mondays at 5 p.m. Eastern. We talk about G.I. Joe news and all kinds of other cool stuff. Also, if you'd like, you can find me on social media at Soundout12. Plus, my graphic designer is on social media and Discord at DarkClaw643, and you can find HeroClub at HeroClub.com for toy news and more. And until next time, this is Soundout saying, Yo, Joe!